fish. Nice to have you with
Here's the deal. You want to hatch brine shrimp? I'll teach you how to hatch brine shrimp. The first thing you need to hatch brine shrimp is you need brine shrimp eggs. Okay. Now.
You're kidding.
Keep in mind, these are not actually eggs. They're not eggs. They are cysts. Can you say that without spitting your teeth out? Cysts. They are cysts. Now, what is a brine shrimp cysts? A brine shrimp cysts is the little baby brine shrimp that the mama brine shrimp has in her belly. And when it starts to get really cold outside, she covers it up with a thick, hard shell. And she lays it out and it floats in the water. It floats up to the top. And the wind blows and blows it to shore. And the winter comes and they pile up on the beach. Great, huge piles. And then in the spring it rains. And they all get washed back out into the Salt Lake. Into the Great Salt Lake. They get washed back out. And the shells dissolve. And the little baby shrimp pokes its head out and looks around and says, boom. And he comes out and he starts to down. Now, first thing he does, what's the first thing he does? He goes, like that. You know what he's doing? He's growing. What is he growing? He's growing a mouth because he's born with no mouth. You didn't know that, did you? It's true. Of course not. This shrimp's born with no mouth. He has to grow a mouth. Oh, so for the first 8 to 12 hours of his life, he's going until he finally breaks out of that old shell and goes and starts eating. Now, when he's doing that, when he's growing inside that shell and trying to get out and grow that mouth, he's using up all of his available energy. The rest of the egg, using it all up, which means that if you leave your shrimp in the water for 8 hours after they hatch, they're all shell. They have no food value. Your fish are not going to, they'll eat them, but they ain't going to enjoy them. So unless you harvest your, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but it'll all come together. You'll see. It'll all come together. Unless you harvest your shrimp within an hour or two of them hatching, the shrimp just are not going to really be able to feed your baby fish and make your baby fish happy. They're not, because they'll turn into ugly old shell and they'll get shell. Tastes like shell to me. Okay, so let's back up. You want to hatch brine shrimp. Here's what you do. You get yourself some cysts. Now, where do you get cysts? This is the secret. Nobody is telling you. None of these other videos are telling you the secret. There is a secret. And the secret is to get that little cyst before Mama Shrimp puts a hard shell on. So when that shrimp hatches out, it's all food. And there's no little brown hard shell floating around anywhere to stick in the baby fish's belly and make it sick. No. So how do you get the little tiny cyst without any shell on it. Well, father fish can teach you how to make it yourself, because you really can make it yourself. But there's an easier way. I need to get an ad for this. Brine Shrimp Direct. Brine Shrimp Direct will sell you, and I don't know what the smallest portion is, I haven't checked, but you need to buy about 4 ounces of, get this, decapsulated hatching. Decapsulated hatching brine shrimp. 4 ounces of decapsulated hatching brine shrimp. You have to keep it refrigerated. It's in a brine, a very heavy brine solution. So it's stable. Lasts about 6 months. You don't want to get a pound of it. You want to get a few ounces of it. Not sure you can. I may have to start marketing it from here if you can't get a smaller amount. I buy it by the pound. Now, what do I do? I get a shoebox, plastic shoebox, like this one right here. See that? Right there. We have Tank the Turtle in a plastic shoebox, just like that. That's a drawer, I think, a refrigerator drawer, something like that. And you want to put salt water in it. Don't know how much salt water? Well, you want to put a half a cup in per quart, half cup per quart. Okay, none of this 1 teaspoon stuff. Half a cup per quart. If it's 1 gallon, you put 2 cups of salt in. That makes it a very, very salty solution. Just put it in, stir it up, make sure it's dissolved. And then take about 1/4 teaspoon of these shrimp and just throw them in there. And that's it. You're done. No air stone, no nothing. No $49.95 hatchery. You got a little plastic shoebox with some salt water in it, and you put a little bit of the shrimp in. What happens? Depending on the temperature, if your temperature is up above 80 or around 80, they're going to hatch in 12 to 16 hours. And what will you see? It may take 24 hours. You'll see little teeny tiny shrimp swimming around. Now, you can actually, at that point, take a fine mesh net or a silk handkerchief or a coffee filter. Coffee filters work really well. You just start pouring water through it. Take water out with a cup, pour it through the coffee filter or the fine mesh net or whatever. You don't take it out and throw it in the tank. It's got salt water in it. You really don't want to put very dense salt water in your fish tank. Some people don't hatch them with very dense salt water. They hatch them with a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt really doesn't hatch them very well. You get maybe a 10% hatching. You need a lot of salt. They come from the salt lake, which is so salty fish can't live in it. Only thing that lives in it is those little shrimp or the salt flats in San Francisco. You know what the salt flats are? They're doing away with them. They're filling them all in because it's prime real estate. But the salt flats are where they used to make salt. They would let the sea come in. They would block it off. The water would evaporate. They'd mine the salt. That's what we're using, okay? That's what we're using in our salt system. Evaporated sea salt. So, evaporated sea salt in the water, throw a little shrimp in, and then 24 hours later, 20 to 24, when you see them swimming around, pour it through something like a coffee filter. And then rinse it in fresh water. Do yourself a favor and get the salt out of it. You really don't want all that salt in it. And then just feed them to your little fish. I'm selling. Jeez. I don't know how we can get anything done already. I mean, look at this. Everything's gone. All of my containers are gone. Everything, there's no airline anywhere, there's no containers anywhere. I mean, really. How am I going to hatch out brine shrimp if I don't even have something to hatch them out? Here. My boot. A booty boy's boot. Is there salt here? Is there a little bit of salt here?
No, it's in the bags over there.
There's the bag over there?
Yeah.
All right, look. There's my booty full of water. A little, yeah. Give me a little bit. That'll do. That'll do. There, salt. Stir it up. The magic ingredient. That looks dead. That'll work. Decapsulated hatching brine shrimp. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. It's brine solution with decapsulated eggs in it, like that. There it is, right there. That's the stuff. All right, I'm gonna mix it up in the boot. And in 24 hours, we're gonna come back to this. And we're gonna take what's in there and dump it in a jar. And we're gonna have baby brine shrimp. And I'll show you more of what we do with it. So, love. Well, brine shrimp, right, brine shrimp. Brine shrimp in a boot. Well, here we are. This is day 2. And we're going to show the miracle of hatching brine shrimp in a boot with no air, no special consideration, no $49.95, nothing. Here we go. We got a booty. And it's full of water. We put this in yesterday. We're going to dump it into a jar. Need to rinse it out. Let's rinse it in fresh water. Smells like rubber and brine. All right, what do we got here? If anything. Looks to me, I see brine shrimp. Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Look at them all. Look at them all. Look at them all. It is loaded with brine shrimp. All right, boys and girls, what does that tell us? What does that tell us? That tells us that no matter what we do, no matter how we do it, brine shrimp eggs put in a high enough salinity are going to hatch out to make baby brine shrimp. You don't need anything more to hatch them in than a boot. Ta-da! Thanks for plugging in and watching and being a part of this channel and this series of videos. Found something you've never seen before. Have a great day. Nice having you with us. Come on back.